next speaker is Reese Van Front.
Bryce Gowdy, Spencer By, Hunter Schubert, Samuel Hoffman, Peter DeSalvo, Seven Bridges, Olivia Kearns. Do you recognize any of these names? I'm guessing the answer is no. We as a nation are not truly recognizing just how many teens are truly suffering from mental health issues, which oftentimes leads to suicide. We need to help spread awareness for teens struggling with mental illness and thoughts of suicide, because suicide is the second leading cause of death among teens, and those with mental health issues are more likely to have suicidal thoughts, actions, and behaviors. According to the New York Times author Richard Friedman, suicide is now the second leading cause of death, only surpassed by accidents. This means that a majority of our teens who have died by suicide. In fact, just last month, a boy named Peter DeSalvo, a freshman playing for his college rugby team, described as outgoing, happy, and smart, jumped from the 6th floor of a building in New York City. He was only 19 years old. The suicide rate among Americans ages 10 to 24 jumped 56% between 2007 and 2017. The rate of suicide is going to continue rising if we don't do something about it soon. Signs of teen suicide include withdrawing from family and friends, acting out, giving away personal belongings, and some may even talk about dying or feeling unworthy. As Friedman put it, every day 16 young people die from suicide. What are we waiting for? Silence is certainly not the answer. Most recently, I read about a girl. This beautiful, talented girl who had so much to offer the world was just 16 years old when she began considering suicide. She called it her self-harming stage. She began cutting her arms. She felt lonely and empty. She cried all the time. She fell into a deep depression. She refers to a time when she was alone in a hotel room and thought, "This is it. I'm going to jump out that window." She was ready to end all the sadness and pain she was feeling. Luckily, she didn't go through with her plan. Although she announced during an interview she really didn't think she would make it to 17 years old. Does anyone recognize this story or know who this girl may be? Some of you might, and those of you who don't, you might have seen her about a month ago, collecting 5 Grammy Awards. It might be hard to believe, but this story belongs to Billie Eilish. Although she still struggled with her mental health, she has found coping mechanisms to help her get through her worst days. She uses her personal experience to help fans who might be facing the same issues she has dealt with. Although Billie was able to get through this awful time in her life, not everyone's story turns out the same. Does the name of Olivia Kearns ring a bell? No? Well, let me tell you a little bit about her. She was a 12-year-old girl from Ohio, a 6th grader actually, a regular kid like you and me. She was described by her family as smart, funny, compassionate, giving, and helpful. A beautiful soul whose smile would light up any room. However, she was told by her peers that she was just a fat, ugly nerd that should kill herself. Those words, those hateful words. It wasn't long until those words would replay over and over in her head so much that she actually started to believe them. Her parents recognized she was sad, but she covered up her pain well. On Tuesday, January 14th of this year, Olivia Kearns became another statistic. But it really doesn't matter who you are. You can be famous and thriving like Billie, or just a regular girl from a small town like Olivia. Mental illness does not discriminate. According to the New York Times, the rate of teen depression shot up 63%, an alarming but not surprising trend given the link between suicide. Today, so many teens are taking their life because they are not being treated for mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. According to Richard Friedman, only 45% of girls with an episode of depression in 2019 received any treatment at all, and only 33% of boys with depression did. So many teens are afraid to speak up about their thoughts, ashamed of what they're feeling. A young teenage girl, Chloe Davidson, took her life right before Christmas last year. Her mom described her as bubbly, funny, and beautiful. However, she struggled with social anxiety and relied on social media to make her feel good about herself. She cared so much about how people viewed her that getting acceptance and likes on her Instagram page is what got her through each day. She felt alone and wasn't able to open up about her anxiety and depression. To anyone viewing her pictures, she looked happy, but deep down, this wasn't the case. Mental illness affects so many teens for so many different reasons on so many different levels. Teenagers' minds are not fully developed yet, and they do not know how to navigate these dark feelings on their own. If you notice a peer or friend seems depressed or is having thoughts of suicide, don't wait to see if they feel better. Offer to help. Talk to them. Ask them if they're having suicidal thoughts. Tell a trusted adult as soon as possible. You never know whose life you might be saving. If Americans do not start realizing how mental health and suicide are impacting our generations of teens, suicide will no longer be the second leading cause of death. It will become the main cause. We cannot let our teens continue to suffer. We cannot let our teens continue to feel as though mental illness is something that they should be ashamed of. Mental illness is a disease, and although teens who are facing this uphill battle may have a long road to recovery, they shouldn't have to take the journey on their own.